Morning comrades, yes it's me, the Yorkshireman, now living in Wales. And today comrades, I'm going to take you through the third letter I got from Rebbeca Evans. Rebbeca Evans is a member of the Senate, but she's also Welsh Labour Cabinet Secretary for Economy, Energy and Planning. Now, before I get on to that, I need to talk about corned beef. So there I was at the local club, and there's a lad who was ex-soldier, did active duty in Afghanistan, and we started talking about corned beef. A lot of background to that, you don't need to know that. And he said it's quite dangerous, key can break off, cut your fingers and everything else. And then he said to me, I bet you I can't introduce or open corned beef, a tin of corned beef should I say, on my video. Now, I'd like to do that, but I don't need any at the moment. However, it then got me thinking about dealing with politicians is, well, it's more tricky than trying to open corned beef, because you generally have no idea what's going to happen. With a tin of corned beef, there's a set number of things can happen. One of them is the key will break off, sort of guaranteed, and then in the process of that you could slice your finger open, and then the last thing, a bit more tricky, is trying to get the corned beef out. All those are sort of givens for me, but you know, but dealing with a politician, you never know what's going to come back, if you get anything back at all, should I say. So he sort of put it as a challenge to me, so I'll tick that off as half a challenge, because I don't need to open it just yet, but I will have a go at another video when I think it's appropriate. So the third letter, right, it'll be at the very end, the third letter, so you can stop and read it yourself. So we're going about charities again, so I'm still not happy that I can't get any information from charities, as I should imagine at least 1 million people in Wales are very unhappy about it. But she goes on to say, all these things we already know, they have to publish an annual report, they do, but it don't include any details, no details at all, should I say. It's just like broad strokes. What we do know is they're on good wages, and they love wasting our money. Sustrans, £120 million, I've already asked them for a breakdown in details, and they just say they don't have to because of a charity. Now then, Rebbeca Evans also points out that expenditures over £25,000 are listed on its website. Let me think, yeah, that's only government expenditure. And actually, you can hide a lot under £25,000. For me, what I'd like to see is any expenditure over a tenner. That's what I'd like to see, because then we'd get a true picture of what's going on. Now, the other bit I will make is that if I go to my own bank and I want to take out 5 grand, 10 grand or whatever, they'll say, what are you using it for? Huh? And that's what they do. They've been doing it for years should I say. So why doesn't a charity have to do the same with taxpayers' money? Why isn't the government telling us exactly the same with our taxpayers' money? But me, with my own money, personal money in a bank account, I have to give some sort of answer. And that's the madness we're living in. So the second bit was about user road charging. Now remember the first letter, as you can see, no plans. And now, of course, on to the third letter, and suddenly, Rebbeca Evans has suddenly realised that there is a plan because I pointed it out to her. You couldn't make it up, could you? And this is the issue I have. Do they know what's going on? They don't have a clue, do they? So how does all this happen? Are they the people in charge? I suspect they're not. I suspect there's a back room of people, civil servants, senior civil servants, taking instructions from somewhere else, as per the rest of the world. So in the third letter, it also goes into paragraph 3, as you can see here, a measure of last resort for road charging. What's that really mean? Who decides it? How is it triggered? What's the last resort? And as they're getting rid of cars, what would then cause the last resort? Right, and then on the third one there again, or looking in the box, it says transparency about the use of proceeds from the scheme, because they can actually keep the money and divert it for the projects. Nothing to do with taxing people on the road, which is what it is. It's a road tax. Now, they say it's transparency. Well, no, it's not at all, because there is no transparency about the meetings a members of the Senate have when they're begging for more money, because they're all redacted. I've asked about the £720 million road scheme. I've said, well, can you break it down for me, please? No, they can't. Right, okay, and that's twice as much as what an average road scheme of the same type would cost. And they can't tell me. So they're not being transparent there. And then, of course, we've then got the offices abroad. I think there's 21 offices. Many people, not just me, have asked for more information on the cost of it all. They're not telling us. So there is no transparency. So why would I believe her? I wouldn't believe her at all, actually. In fact, I've more trust in my corned beef. So then we go on to the other one here, and this was about 20-minute cities, 15-minute cities. Now, as you can see here, it says in the third letter, Welsh Government does not hold a repository of academic opinion or research on this matter. Right, okay, well let me just put this back in some context. She actually says to me in the reply dated 4th of Feb, so this was second reply, that it's in the future generations. Now that's a government policy, is that, done by the Labour. I've looked at that and it's listed all over the place. So, I'm going to say you're trying to mislead me again, and it's not on. It's in your policy documents. So it's all there. And then we go around this thing as well, they must use evidence. Well, evidence these days don't mean anything because it can be different evidence. It can be evidence which suits their cause. So the evidence doesn't really count for anything. And the best evidence would be to gain it from all the taxpayers and say, well, what do you think about it? Would it work? Would it not work? That, for me, is far better evidence. More so because we're funding it all as taxpayers. But I look at everything and I listen to the current set of politicians, and they are just ignoring us all. Now, the other thing I then asked about is, as you can see in the second letter, I asked about policies. And this is regarding the question is, so when you've done all this, what are you going to do with us all? And it was a weird one because there's no plans to introduce policies that were outlined. So at that point, I had my follow-up question, because I then asked, so could you please list a policy you are not going to implement? Because it's like, oh, right, so by default, the way she's phrased it, there must be something else. You might need to stop the slides and read it again. And she then goes on to say, we do not have a list of policies that we are not going to implement. And then it goes on, it is necessary to explore a range of ideas, but the Welsh Government's ultimate aim is to improve the lives of the citizens across Wales. Now, I don't like the word citizens, so let me just take that. As you're watching this, you tell me in the comments, literally, what policy has improved your life? Has net zero improved your life? 20 miles an hour improved your life? Rising council tax, does that improve your life? The future of road charging, is that going to improve your life? The alcohol beer tax going up and up and up, is that improving your life? It's a massive list. Is any of that really improving your life? So again, there's this massive disconnect, isn't there? And they're just carrying on with some pre-programmed idea which is nothing to do with the taxpayer. And I then go back to question 5. And question 5 is it's a catch them out question, and it's what you're going to do with us all. I think I've explained this before, but I'll take you through it again. It's a very simple question. Once you've done this, what are you going to do? And I've asked these people, you can see the list here, and we've got Mabon, we've got Rebecca, we've got Sefton, we've got Jane, we've got London, Joyce Watson. Out of these people, literally only 3 of them have tried to reply, the others nothing. So I take it from that they don't have a clue what they're going to do. So they're carrying on wasting our taxpayers' money for what end? Now, what they do tend to say is, oh, we have to think of the future generations. Well, my point is as simple as this. I'm a now generation, I'm a taxpayer, I actually have a say. And it's a bit like when I was a kid in my family house and the rest of it. When I say a family house, I just mean a standard house, right? Sharing bedrooms and all that sort of stuff going on. So don't think it's like, oh, family house. And if I wasn't happy, my dad or my mum would say, well, when you start paying your way, son, you can have a contribution to it. That's what I'm going to say to this. The future generations, what you're sort of implying is us now generation don't care about them. Well, actually, what you're doing is destroying their future. So don't use this skill and this technique and these words, oh, it's about future generations. No, we're paying for it now. We actually know better than you lot. History shows us that. Common sense applies. Right, comrades, full letter at the end. Thank you for watching. Hope you're having a good day. Friday today, and catch you on the other side. Oh, P.S. I'm still being heavily suppressed on the world of Facebook, but apparently I'm not, but I know I am. So please tick subscribe, and again, leave a comment about if these policies actually are improving your lives, because that would be useful to see. Right, thank you for watching. Catch you on the other side.